Okay, so we continue with our discussion. So we get to know that Ahaz took over. Ahaz took over from his dad. Please, can you see the screen?
I can see it.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
Papa.
I can see.
So Ahaz took over, ruled for 16 years, and he was the son of Jotham. The mother is unknown. The Bible references are here for us to go and read. Hezekiah was a good leader, 29 years. He was the son of Ahaz. The mother is called Abijah. Abijah was the daughter of Zachariah, and he also ruled for 29 years. He was termed as good. Manasseh also came, but he was a bad ruler, and for 55 years he ruled. He was the son of Hezekiah. The mother is called Hephzibah. Hephzibah. So we also have it here. Ammon was also a bad king. He ruled for 2 years. He was the son of Manasseh, following the footsteps of the mother of the father. And the mother says Meshlemat. Meshlemet. Okay, the daughter of Harush of Jotbah. And so the account of his reign is also here. Let's read it. Josiah, where we talked about being a good king, where they got them back on track, was ruled for 31 years, son of Ammon. The mother is called Jedidiah, daughter of Adiah of Boazket. And the reign period is also here, 2 Kings chapter 21, verse 26 to chapter 23, verse 30. We get it also from the 2 Chronicles chapter 33, verse 25 to 35 to verse 27. Jehoahaz was also a bad king, and he ruled for only 3 months. He was the son of Josiah, and the mother is called Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Liban. Also came Jehoiakim, who was also a bad. So when you read the summary that I did earlier, when I was talking about King Josiah directing them, the Passover, by then, despite the attempt to tie the religion, to turn the religious tide in Judah, evil rulers regained power after his death. So these are the evil. You see that all those who followed are seen as bad kings after Josiah. They all came in and just wasted everything. Hezekiah also came in. And this guy, for instance, when you read account of him, you read for 11 years. But just to please that of Nebuchadnezzar, his name was changed. And changed to make sure that he will have connection to the Babylonians and then rule. Okay. Then let's leave Jesus of Nazareth. I'm making it 21, as I said. So if we did the Jesus of Nazareth out and that of the woman, Atalia, out, we have 19 kings who ruled in the southern kingdom. Before we go to the northern kingdom, any question? Is it going on well? The responses are very important.
Yes, Papa.
Yes,
Papa is going
please.
well.
Yeah. Yes, Papa is going.
Papa is going on well.
So the northern kingdom is also called Israel, as I said. Sometimes in the Bible, we see it being referred to Ephraim, and sometimes Samaria. Samaria, we already know, is the capital. So sometimes it is so. So the name used for this part of the kingdom were Israel. And when you get to the prophetic book of Isaiah, is sometimes seen as Ephraim or Samaria, even when they get to Hosea. We are reading Hosea, you see Samaria. Samaria is talking about this particular kingdom. Its capital was Samaria, even though it was previously Shechem and Tirzah. These were formerly the places that they used to have their capital. Shechem, as you already know, that became the place where they had assembly. It was changed to Tirzah, and then back to now to Samaria. Rulers of the kingdom were in all 19. So if you look at it, we are having 19 against 19. In the southern kingdom, we said they were how many? 19. If you take the woman out, you get 19. Yet they also had 19 rulers. But all of them did evil in the eyes of God. When you look at here, we had 8 of them. We had 8 of them. Where is it? Yes, so we had about 8 of them who were good and the rest bad. I hope you get it. So 8 of them were good and 11 of them were bad. But when it comes to this place, all the 19 were bad. None of them was of the Davidic line. None of them came from the tribe of David. But do you know what happens here? We have a set of 4 dynasties which lived. So it started with the dynasty of Jeroboam from 1 Kings chapter 12 to chapter 15. When Jeroboam died, his children took over. Then at a point in time, an army commander called Baasha, who was an army commander of Jeroboam, killed the grandchild of Jeroboam and took over. So he was from a different place altogether. So started his dynasty, also continued with his children. Then Omri also came, killed his great grandchild and took over. They came also from a different area altogether. He also led them together with their children who succeeded him. Then came Jehu, who also ended the tribe of Omar, the family line, the dynasty of Omar. And then Jehu also came in to continue. So we had 4 dynasties. The dynasty means that this one and his children came to rule, and their reign ended. They never came back. This one also, Baasha also came. Their reign ended at the point with the children. Then came Omar. Also reign ended at the point. Never came back. None of his descendants came back. And then we came to the dynasty of Jehu. So we'll be looking into details, all these things as we go, so get it in mind. So the territory of the land was also made up of 10 tribes. 10 tribes of Israel at the northern part. Throughout her history, Israel was in conflict with Judah and Syria. Later, it was invaded by Assyria. Initially, it was made a vassal state in 10. But you see, the Assyrians captured it, and the Babylonians captured the southern kingdom. So Samaria or Israel or Ephraim was resettled by foreigners sent there by the Assyrians' laws. And that is the main reason why in the New Testament, the Jews do not regard them as being true Jewish people. So now you see why they say they are Gentile, they are people from Samaria, and the lady who met Jesus at the well saying, we cannot worship God in Samaria except in Jerusalem. And he said, yes, but there will be a time all these things will bypass. But the Jews held it that because the Assyrians came to settle, they did not take them into slavery like what was happening to the Jewish people who were taken to Babylonia. And later they were sent back. People like Daniel, Meshach, Shadrach, we get to know about them. Even later we get to know about someone like Jeremiah and then Nehemiah and Co. They were all from those sides. They were taken into captivity. They were packed and sent there. But this one, The people rather came and stayed there. So there was that much of intermarriage. And so the Jews feels that these people are no more true Jewish blood because it has been mixed up. I don't know whether you guys are getting my point there.
Papa, we are with you, pal.
Yes. So that is how we get to know about the people of Samaria. They are seen as not true Jewish people. They are even seen as Gentiles. That's how they see them, as Gentiles, non-Jewish. They are not true Jewish people. So it's only the Judah, those from Judah or the southern kingdom that see themselves as true Jewish people. So to distinguish the new and separate the kingdom of Israel from the old united kingdom, so to put it apart, Jeroboam, who was then the head, whilst Rehoboam was leading the southern kingdom, he was also leading the northern kingdom, decided that if the people would travel to Jerusalem to worship, their mind might change, or Rehoboam might even block them and tell them now, unless they come under his rule, he will not allow them to come and worship. So because of that, he erected images at Dan and in Bethel, altars there for them to worship a foreign god, so that you don't need to go down to Jerusalem to offer sacrifice. And you know what he did? He even got Levite priests who were devoted to God to now turn them away to become priests of these gods. So the people they saw their own ministers, what we say, ministers of God, being taken to manage these chapels again. And so they had trust in them and they continued to worship, but they were worshiping idols. So one day, Jeroboam's son is ill, and his wife approached a prophet seeking for guidance. The prophet warns that Jeroboam's household will be destroyed and that Israel will eventually lose control of the promised land because of Jeroboam's practice of adultery. One generation later, Jeroboam's entire family is slaughtered when another Israelite takes the throne by force. And that person is called, what I mentioned to you, that his name is Baasha. And he was the commander. He decided to end the whole dynasty of Jeroboam. So let's look at the summary of the kingship here. Let's look at Jeroboam the first. We say Jeroboam the first because there was another Jeroboam later who also came in. So we have Jeroboam the first, Jeroboam the second. So, oh yes, so that's what we are doing. Yeah, so continuation. And then ended the whole tribe totally. Now, when another person I want to talk about is Ahab. Ahab. As I said, not all of the kings can we talk about, but some of them we have to, just as I did for Joash, for Hezekiah in the other side, yet we are dealing for some of them. Ahab, with the help of his wife Jezebel, Ahab, the northern Israel's most wicked king, spread cult worship of the god Baal throughout the northern lands. In response, a prophet named Elijah emerged and informed Ahab that God will curse the land with a great drought. Elijah lives a secluded life on the outskirts of civilization. He was not so much into the town, he was living on his own. And we get to know that later, when during the drought, reverends came to feed him, and then he continued to perform miracles for the local people. 3 years of the drought, Queen Jezebel begins a campaign to murder all God's prophets in the land. And do you know what happened? Elijah publicly confronted her, demanding that the Israelite people profess allegiance to either god of Baal